Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Garrison. I want to welcome you to this session of Humanity Rising as we deepen our exploration of the pilgrimage that we just completed in Teotihuacan, Mexico, where we gathered on the occasion of the solstice in light of Kogi prophecy about the momentousness of our time, the reality that humanity is now out of time, that we are now entering our reckoning at the hands of the mother, our Mother Earth, who is now beginning to restore herself with or without us. And the invitation between the solstice of 2023, the winter solstice of 2023, and the summer solstice just passed of 2024, was for humanity to come to our collective senses and to bend the knee before the mother and align ourselves with the great vastness of the ecological system within which we have our lives. We gathered at Teotihuacan, the massive pyramid complex there in central Mexico, with pyramids that go back thousands of years. No one actually knows how old they are, although there's lots of speculation. We delved into the profound intricacies of the Mayan calendar and Mayan cosmology and the culture that gave rise to one of the most exquisitely intelligent and complex ecosystems of thought and spirituality and astronomy and astrology that has ever been devised by the imagination of humankind. An extraordinary work. What we want to develop today is one single strand of the legacy of the Toltec. When the Spanish conquered that part of the world in the 1520s and over the next centuries, they devastated the culture. They came in under the aegis of the doctrine of discovery, whereby the Pope had blessed them to essentially commit genocide against the native peoples, not only in terms of destroying people, but in terms of destroying an entire culture, an entire belief system, an entire worldview. Every single one of the books that had been written by the Mayans and the Aztecs and the Toltecs, because they were extremely literate, were completely destroyed, except one, and that was the Popol Vuh, the creation mythology of the Mayan culture. In the face of that, what happened was that this vast, intricate culture, and Teotihuacan, it should be remembered, was actually not only a cultural and religious and spiritual center, but it was a university complex. And people came from all over the Americas, and in fact, from different parts of the world. There's extraordinary amount of evidence for a syncretism between what happened in Teotihuacan and what happened in Egypt. Both pyramid complexes virtually replicate each other. The base of the Great Pyramid of the Sun, as the Aztec called it, in Teotihuacan, is exactly the same base measurements as the Great Pyramid in Egypt. The base of the Pyramid of the Moon in Teotihuacan is the exact height of the Great Pyramid in Egypt. Some of the language of the Popol Vuh replicates and is the same as the language used in the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Some of the words are the same, the rituals are the same, The initiatory process of both cultures is virtually synonymous with each other. How did that happen? When did it happen? Nobody knows. But in the face of the Spanish onslaught to exterminate this way of living in the world, what the shamans did is break it up intentionally, go underground, and began lineages of oral traditions that went from teacher to student to teacher to student over the 500 years of Spanish colonial and neo-colonial conquest to the present day. And then something very wonderful happened. A PhD student in anthropology in the 1960s went down to Sonora, Mexico, and by happenstance met one of the survivors of the Toltec spirituality, a shaman named Don Juan, and the student was named Carlos Castaneda. And he published his PhD dissertation. It was called A Yaqui Way of Knowing. And that book exploded into the world. And after 5 centuries of being underground and secret, surviving one persecution after another, Toltec spirituality burst into the world. And the works of Carlos Castaneda over the next 30 years, one book after another, as he chronicled what he learned, not only from Don Juan, but Don Gennaro, if you've read his books, and other sorcerers and sorceresses from the Toltec tradition, began to bring into the public domain and back into world spirituality the ancient primordial teachings of Mesoamerica. And I was one of those who picked up Carlos Castaneda's first book with trembling hands and deep excitement. And when I read it, I just realized that we were being gifted by the mercies of the Mother with a spiritual realism that has personally shaped my life to the present day. So I went back to Teotihuacan with our pilgrimage with deep gratitude that I have been immersing myself in this spirituality. One of the people that was part of our faculty was a young man named Miktlan Kouatl, who, like so many others, has dedicated his life and his extraordinary artistry into resurrection of this spirituality in our time. So he's an interpreter of the Toltec cosmology. He's an interpreter of the way in which the Toltec and the Mayans used astrology and number and sacred geometry to create pathways of initiation, pathways of illumination, pathways of revitalization of the human spirit, because it's not only in the colonized parts of the world that spirituality and the connection of the primordial has been repressed. It's been equally repressed in the West by the strictures of the Orthodox Judeo-Christian and Islamic traditions. Think of the witch burnings. Think of the burnings of all the heretics. Think of all the ways where the spirituality of the West, like in the colonized world, has been severely repressed. And beginning in the 1960s, there's been a renaissance of the deeper spirituality that preceded the rise of the Abrahamic religions, and which are nurturing the human spirit in our time. So I'd like to introduce Miktlan to you all, because he was so extraordinary and so exact in his artistry that he had our entire group of nearly 80 people enthralled by what he is uncovering for us to remember, so that we can move forward more whole and more connected with the ancient wisdoms. Miktlan, I'd like to invite you on to Humanity Rising. He's going to say a few words more about himself and his work, and then he's going to show you some of his art, which has been exhibited around the world in various museums. We were very privileged to have him with us during our time at the Dreaming House there in Teotihuacan. So Miktlan, welcome to Humanity Rising.
Hello, Jim. Thank you so much for opening this space to share the Toltec culture. I am so grateful with you and with all the group that we were working in the Dreaming House. It was an awesome week. I learned a lot of things from you and from all the people were there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We learned from each other, and we felt very deep kinship with you and your wife and your daughter. It was wonderful to have you with us and to grace us with your wisdom. So I'll turn the program now over to you, and you just take us away into the world of Toltec art.
It'll be a pleasure. Thank you. Well, today, the first thing I want to say is that I am a tlacuilo. The tlacuilos were the ancient Toltec writers. We use this way of writing that it is not as we use it today, letter by letter, in a linear way. The Toltec writing system is circular, and it is more or less like our neurons work. You place one concept and everything around it is connected and is linked. So you start constructing concepts in that way. Today, we're going to dig into that writing system. And by that, we'll have a look of the Toltec cosmology. First, let me introduce myself and share with you how I started this path of the tlacuilo. I am a painter. As you see, I got my paintings in the back. And I've been doing that for more or less 23 years. And after 10 years of being working with the traditional way of a painter, studying human figure, all perspective, color theory, everything that painters should study in order to perform his task. I started developing technique of drawing and painting, but mostly drawing to channel my mind. It was like, it is like meditation guided by the line. When you have this inner dialogue and you start drawing, I have this, I will start sharing my screen so you can see it better. So just let me go to it. And here we have a little drawing of this line where as you are following the line, all your thoughts, you have this slow down in your process of thinking, and you can recognize every thought. So the line becomes your own thoughts. So in that way, you are making an self-portrait. And that is really, really powerful, because when you're drawing, you're also doing an auto-analysis to know things in your thoughts that may be destructive, or other bright parts that are really constructive. So you start defining and make a plan where you can improve in yourself. And yes, this is how it results. I have tons of these kind of drawings, but these ones were like the first try, and they were really ordered. By that time, someone presented me the Toltec Codex, and I say, hey, if I'm doing this with the line and I'm having this auto-analysis of my thoughts with the line, I can use the same technique to see what happens with that drawings in the codex. So I started doing the same process in a more profound and detailed way. And this was the result. Each line here, it's very, very detailed and thin. So you can go as profound as you want in your thoughts. So I started using this technique on the Toltec ideograms. So this is the image of the Codex, Borgia Codex, that it is an ancient book that was written by this Mixtec person that was ordered to do it. He was committed to. After the Spanish came and they burned all the books in order to disappear our culture, this man was still alive, and he was committed to write all the Toltec culture in just one book. So the ideographic writing system has this capacity of compressing information. And by the technique I developed, I could start getting all the information from these ideograms. So this is the image, and this is the tonalpohuali. This is the base of the writing system. I know you see it very little. Let's go, and we can go closer. And you see, there are a lot of symbols, and they have a specific order. If we see in the right part of the screen, and in the bottom, we start with the crocodile, and then we go to wind, and then construction, and then lizard. And this sequence repeats all over. If you find here, we find the crocodile again, then wind, and then construction, and so and so and so. So this, oh, sorry. Let me go to this one. Excellent. So the ideographic writing system has 20 main ideograms that are the basic units of construction. But this is really interesting, because this system wasn't invented, wasn't just like, hey, I'm going to use this skull and this eagle and this flower to make something to write concepts. It is within us. This writing system exists within our genetic code. That means that every one of us can access to it just by having the right tools to get into that. So yes, that's what been teaching for 14 years. To read and write. More than saying what's written in there, our goal is to teach how to read and write in this system, so everyone can start knowing by themselves and get their own conclusions. So I think that's really important in the Toltec knowledge, because what it propels is self-aware of each person. I believe that when the people have this self-awareness of themselves, it's more happy, and they can show themselves as they are, and you see being have their message clearer and to be taken to for others, and learn and share. I think share is the main thing about this. So yes, this has a really interesting structure. We'll come back to it. It's 20 symbols and 13 places or stands in life. So we'll back to it, because that's what our talk will be about. So the four elements, the four ideograms that construct everything, because we said that this writing system is based into our DNA. So we have four main symbols that are Kali, that it is construction. Then we have Touchly, that it is rabbit or logic, mind. This is Acat, that is read, or carrizo in Spanish. It means union. And it is our attitude. And action, that it is represented by a knife, stone carved knife, and it has the shape of a seed. So it is our action and our will. So the four are body, mind, attitude or spirit, and action. That is a complete cycle that ignite this process of projecting and recreating reality. So that is the being. Sorry for, I got this image, but it is in Spanish. It is ser, but in English, of course, it's the being. It's just being. So each one of these are represented now in chemistry with like guanine, thymine, adenine, and cytosine. Yes. Okay, so if we go to the next, with those four elements, we can construct all the system by dividing again into four more. So Kali construction can be divided into Kali, that it is in the bottom and left side of the screen. And then Kuautlajtoli, Kuautlajtoli, and Kuautlajtoli. Those are four new elements that can be shifted into a new concept. So in the same way we do it with the mind, with the spirit, and with our actions or will. We divide it into new four, body, mind, body, spirit, and body action. And mind, body, mind, attitude, mind, spirit, sorry, and mind, action. And so here you have the image. So you can see it and analyze it. And here we have, let me, oh, here we have the new concept that are constructed by this process. So we have the crocodile, the wind, a hecat. I will point them here. Crocodile, a hecat, lizard, snake, construct by their own combination. Every one of these combination fit into the concept. We cannot go to explain everyone, but we will explain some of them. So all of this is what you need. Only these four ideograms is what you need to make the 20. But because, well, you have the 4 first and then 16 more. Yes. Okay. So if you place them in a circle, you got this. And I was searching internet, and I saw this image, and it was really, really profound, because it is really near with what our culture now in chemistry know as how our genetic code makes all our amino acids to that are the basic blocks of life to construct of proteins and stuff that our body needs to perform. So we're talking about that the Toltecs had this capacity of decoding our genetics and our body chemistry to make out of it a writing system. So by that, we can see the profound this knowledge goes. So in the first images that I show you, let me go back. This one, we have a lot of columns. Yes, they are columns of 5 cells. And when you start ordering these concepts and getting all the sequence between these columns, you start seeing that they are ways of behaving and thinking. They are stands in life. They are values where you can that you can follow and be more harmonic in your interaction with people and your environment, with the earth and with your society. So these concepts, these columns construct 52 configurations of the human body that we can project and that can be seen, that other people can perceive. Yes, let me now go back here. This is one configuration. Yes, and in the right part of the image, we have the column, the sequence of the 5 concepts, and then they join into this character that, of course, has its own personality, its own way of behaving. So all about Toltec culture was education. It's how to transmit information the best way possible. So if we have these kind of concepts of the snake, the monkey, the eagle, they are really easy to understand to children. This was a writing system that was taught since 3 years old. Since you were a little kid, you start playing with all these concepts. They are really easy to remember. And then you start seeing the big configurations as some like superhero that you can become. And of course, that is true, because if you see your teachers, they can perform in that way. And when you grow up, you find out that you can project and you can become that. So I think it's a complete system that is linked to our nature. So this way of living it was developed by nature. It is set within all life, like the genetic code, because all living things pass their information by reproducing biological. So this system was the way the nature found to continue to pass the message of life. So all these configurations you can perform by drawing all these concepts. What this process of drawing and meditating with it is remembering all these events that happen in your life that connect with emotion. And that emotion, it is we are all the same. We connect through emotion. We have a lot of different experiences, but emotion remains the same. So when you start drawing these ideograms, your thoughts are channeled into those experiences that hold or are connected with the emotion is needed in order to understand these concepts. So by that, the process of reading is always writing. And we've been working with a lot of people by many years, and all the people that come to learn this way of frame your mind, it's they get to the same spot. They get to the same concepts, because of course we all are connected by our emotions, and our emotions propel our thinking. So if you get into the right configuration of emotions, your thoughts start working in a specific way that projects these ways of configuring your body, and also how you perceive reality. So this is one of the concepts I've drawn. This is another one that it's like more simple to understand how the ideographic writing system work. It uses the body mechanics to express concepts. And this is also really, really, really amazing and precise, because no matter where you are in the world, we all are human, and we have our tool, our only tool, that it is our body. So if you know how to move, you can start learning this writing system. So if we give a step, the leg is behind, is always propelling us. That's a fact. And where we give our step is our direction. Yes, and by so we use the body mechanics to start making a dialogue. And we use all these concepts to place them in that specific spots where we can start writing and expressing different concepts. This writing system can express, it is a self-analysis system, but also you can write things about biology, chemistry, physics. Well, Toltecs were really advanced in these subject matters. Um, Now we are starting to realize why they do. So this is another concept, but we'll go into Kuautlajtoli, that it is the word of the eagle, what this talk is about. So this work was made after 4 years of being studying intensively the writing system, and we started reading all the book, and it was so profound, and it broke our paradigms of recreating and perceiving reality. So I thought it was an honor and a duty to make a work that holds all that knowledge in the proper way to honor our ancestors. So that this was the result. 4 years of study. After 2 years of painting, 6 years were invested in this work. But I think it holds. It is made as a didactic material to teach how to read and write in a very concise way. So the Kuautlajtoli holds 4 main systems. The first of them is the Tezcatlipoca system. Tezcat, it is mirror. And this is really important because what we see, how we see reality, how we perceive reality is a mirror of what we are inside. And also it's a platform where we can start building how we want reality to be. And that's in that sense, you are recreating reality physically, and by that you change your mind frame into what you are creating. So it's a double way process. So let's dig into it. I won't be able to spot all the concepts, but I try to do it as fast as I can, and profound as I can. So we were talking about the crocodile, that it is here, and this is what sets the system as a mirror. The crocodile is our reaction. It's our reflexes. And you see, when things happen into your environment, you are always reacting to that. The environment is the set that channel your mind and your body. So where you live, where you how is all this interaction with your environment is what you are. And by that reaction, if we see it from a chemistry perspective, we cannot react in the past or in the future. We just can react in the present moment with the things that are in our reach. So that sets this system to live in the here and now. Be open, be ready to be with to work with your attention to react in the best way possible. And that is our mirror, because you see, in our reflexes, we don't have this rational process to think how we do it. So we react and we see our true self. So by that, this is really this is a real good platform to start building your idea, the idea of what you are. So our next concept, it is wind. It is a hecat. A hecat means the construction of the wind. It is not air, it is wind. When there is wind, you can hear it. And by that, the sound, it is really important. So this concept, you can see it by your thought, your word that can propel others, but also as the vibration. And if it's the construction of the vibration, we're talking about all reality. If we're talking about vibration, there are no boundaries, there are no borders. All is united. So when you know your true self, you are everything. You are all also connected with everyone and everything by all means. So a Hecat is your true self. It is your idea of yourself, what you construct by all your experiences in life, and you can, by getting more information and knowing you better, you can break that idea and construct a new one with a more stable basis. So the next concept, it is Kali, that is represented here in Kuautlajtoli, represented by a man that it is meditating. So this concept is the whole construction of your reality. And this concept holds all the system, is the base. You see, we started in crocodile, then a hecat, but if we remember, we construct those concepts by dividing Kali. So crocodile and a hecat are just the same, are within Kali. Kali, it is the holder of all these system. And by our body, we are perceiving reality, we process it in our brain, we interpret all what our senses receive and project it as an image. So what we perceive as reality is our own self. It's our own construction. It's what we call universe. So Kali, it is really important because it sets the starting point where you can build your reality and see the mirror. If you don't like where you live, how is the place you live? Why don't you change it? Why don't you transform it into something that aligns with your idea of who you are? And so by doing that, I want to show you this tool I use in order to construct the idea of who am I by doing externally in physics, in matter, and that sets the idea deep into our brains. It is the same. This same concept was used in the pyramids and in the ancient cities, because we know that the environment is the most important thing to channel our mind. So if we don't focus on that kind of topics, we end up with a very messy mind because our cities are messy. So I think that's what Khalid is trying to tell us. I'll go a bit faster after this and try to cover all the systems that are within Kuautlajtoli. This next is lizard. I can go here. It's lizard, and it is our intuition, how the chemic reaction it's working within all life to as a guidance, as a compass. You see, life doesn't need mind to say, hey, you have to grow in that way. The trees, the grass, all plants, even our own body doesn't need that our mind is working well. Hey, you have to reproduce that cell in this way. It is happening in a very intuitive way. So that is intuition, how we interpret that chemistry into our minds. That's really, really, really important. We can dig into that later, because we will get into the top to another concept that develops this intuition. Next is snake, that it is experimentation, and by that we gather information that breaks our old paradigms of how reality is. Skull, the snake and the skull are you see, all about Toltecs are snakes and skulls. We are obsessed about that. So when we gather enough information, the snake just throws out its skin. So by that is dying, and we all are doing the same. We are moving forward in time, just as the snake. It is always looking forward when it moves. It cannot go. It is always moving forward, even if it's giving turns. It is always looking forward. That is a nice analogy of how we are traveling or perceiving time. And by that, we can construct and destroy our old ideas. It's a process of renovation. And the skull is really important in this system, because you see, by experimenting things, you know what it takes to have that knowledge, to get into a specific result. So by that, we give value to our actions and what others have done. If you see a pyramid and you want to know what it means, for what it was built, it's better to start building one. So you know what it takes to do it, and what's the meaning of it. And so you give value to our ancestors, what they done. So I think this is the most important stuff about Toltec culture, about values. And you see, when you are getting all these values, you get into your mind these ways of behaving and honor your environment, and you start moving through those stands in life. So the skull or the skeleton, it is not just the meaning of death, it's a structure. We all are living with our bones since we were fetus. So that gives us a structure. It gives us the possibility of stand and move and not be a yellow of meat in the floor. We can have this stand and be firm in life. And when you take that concept and use it in your mind, that is your set of values. So by that, we can stand firm to take our ideas and our purpose, our will through life. So next, when you have this break of paradigms, you are open. You open your possibilities of moving or behaving, learning, you see, and that is um, uh, you see, like the ornament of the deer that is you see opening new ways each time. The deer does that. It is feeling calm and relaxed. You have to feel happy to in order to perceive more of your reality, more ways of performing. And by that, it is always opening. You see, the deer moves like the water, taking the path of less resistance. So it is faster if maybe you have to follow the way of less resistance and you have to give all this the turn and go back to the nearly the same spot. As trying just to go for it and force it. It happens to me in painting all the time. If you want to have it perfect and you want to force it, you're like erasing and erasing and erasing and no, and you get frustrated. But if you flow and you go over and over and over and over, sometimes you get it done how you like. So yes, these kind of processes you can use it in any activity in your life. When you get new possibilities of doing stuff, it comes the rabbit, that it is logic and how we connect ideas. The rabbit has its home here, and it may have another here, and it digs a tunnel to connect these two. So between if it has more connections, its structure will be stronger, and that is how our mind works. Our brain cells work. They are connecting to each other, making these synapses to make this idea of reality real. Yes. So that is rabbit. That is logic, and it is our mind. Then comes water, that is being adaptable. With water, it is the main thing about all this system is how we can perceive reality, because of course all our senses are filled with the structures of water, and the water molecules can modify its angle of the atoms that form it, and they form a structure where we can perceive reality. By that network, we call it Chalchitluique, that we can modify by how we feel and project different structures and concepts that, of course, are the configurations that I already told you about. Then comes dogs, because, well, water is our hard drive. Is where we it's our body, and we keep all our emotions and all through water. It is how we save our our information and ideas. And when you have this direction, and because directions are ideas, you start finding people that goes in the same direction, and you connect and you match in the energy. So you start making families. So the dogs means to form packs, to make families, to make work groups, and look um, for the health and happiness of all the group. So by that, you are having this importance of things you want to pass to new generations, and that is the monkey. It is didactics, how you teach what you think it's important. So this system is a complete educational system to build all Toltec culture. So it has its own way of teaching by art and by science. So those are the most important things. When you learn something, you have to develop it and become a master. And you just doing it. You just do it by practice and practice and practice and practice. And that is the grass. This symbol here represents the all the plants and life in general, because what life is doing at all levels is growing. So grow, it's always happening. And if you want to develop any ability, you have to practice and be constant, have discipline. So this symbol is that. And I want to just go a little bit more on this, because it has a maguey in the center. It is this like a star plant that where we take the pulque from its heart. We open a little hole and we carve a little, and then some water start gathering there. It is a really nutritious water, and it is sweet. It is really tasty. So this is the core thing about Mexico word. So Met is maguey, Shikli is belly bottom, and Ko is inside the belly bottom of the maguey. You have the heart, the sweetest and more nutritious thing that we can offer, but you cannot approach in a rough way to a maguey, because you can hurt really badly. So that teaches that our attitude towards all other people to behave gently and kind. It's the most important thing in order to offer the best of us and to inspire others to offer the same. So that's the main thing about being Mexican or being Mexica. But it doesn't mean that you have to born anywhere in any territory. You can be a Mexica just by behaving this way, giving the best of you in order to inspire others to give the best of them. So by that, we can go to the next, that it is reed. That are these sticks here. They are mixed with turkey here. So we'll dig into that later. But the reed are a pack of reed that are wrapped. And that is really important because we want to make union. And you see, if we have at the bottom Kali, the construction, that it is the body, that it is the holder of everything, then in the upper part we have the union. How we can do union with other people, and that is our attitude, how we approach what we already said in Malinali, that it is the grass or the plant. You see, all of these concepts come from monkey, grass, or Malinali, come from breathe. So I think our attitude is the most important thing in life because it keeps our direction and our mind focus in a way of behaving. And of course, that is really, really important because it gives us the discipline to construct reality in the way we want. If we don't have that discipline in our mind, we start creating realities that we don't want. And I think that's what's happening in the world. We don't give the weight to our thoughts, and we're thinking in a lot of stuff. And of course, that is really powerful. So we are creating an unharmonic reality. So then we have the jaguar, that it is Yogualmixtli in Nahuatl, and this is linked with the lizard. Oh, we say that the lizard was our intuition. And you see, when nature works in a way that doesn't have to think about anything and grow in a harmonic way, our thoughts can have the possibility of work the same way. Of course, by our mental structures, we are always channel the mind in the same patterns. But if you let that go, if you break those frames that we have in our mind, you can let your mind to flow freely. And the jaguar is that possibility, is dreaming, is how you can imagine things, and by that, taking them into a rational process to build them in reality, in physical. So the jaguar is the most important process in this system. So that's why I'm using this. That's why I'm using a jaguar perspective. This is not a mask. This is not a helmet. It's a perspective. I can see everything through the jaguar. And that reminds me the job I'm doing with my mind. Yes, that is why Toltec used to use these tools. Then came a lot of stuff that they were killers and warriors. Yes, we are warriors, but you see, we are not assassins like they said. So then comes the eagle, that is seeing everything from above with objectivity. Have your objectives clear. It's the intention. Of course, you can build all your set of goals in your plan, and then fly and see if it fits. Then when you go into it, you can act like a deer, very intuitive way, in a more efficient and direct way. And if you are into a plan, you just have to remind the plan. You don't have to stick to it, because every experience will be different. So the plan just is something to rely on and then go into it, and you can be shifting into deer or eagle to suit better all the possibilities and all what is presented into your environment. So while you're doing this planning, of course, the most important thing is to get into matter. So that is the Kuautlajtoli, that it is condor, and Kuautlajtoli it feeds from dead animals. So it is getting advantage of what you already have, not going for something new, not going hunting. It's just like, hey, let's see what I've done and give importance and value to it. So many times I see it in my process as a painter. I do a lot of drawings. I have boxes and boxes and boxes of drawings and drawings, and many of them don't see the light that I don't show them. So sometimes I say, why am I doing that? So getting advantage of what you've done, it's important in order to propel yourself. It is nurture yourself with all what you've done and what you have. It's also recognizing situations where you can perform in the best way by using all the elements in your environment. So by that, you may have limited possibility or limited elements to perform. So that is creativity. The condor ignites creativity. And if you are starting this process with the jaguar, but imagine then planning and see what you have to perform it and create new things. So all these three are the initial part of the creative process. So then comes movement, that is these like cells that are inside this skull. So movement is how we define things. We all have a posture, and when we are talking, we are defining. And you see, when we see reality, just by perceiving it, we are defining too. We see things and we got the color, we got the shape, and we define that in an idea. So reality is defining itself just by being. So olintli, movimiento, movement, if you have some water and you have some elements inside and you move it, all separate and define itself. The word Toltec, it comes from this. Tol is our, olintli, movement, and it is also defining. And Tecat, it's people. So how we define ourselves as people. And that, I think, is really important because it matters. It matters how our reality is, how our home is. If we are connected to that, aligned to that, we like it, or we if it's aligned with what we dream. Yes. So that's what Toltec means. Then comes knife, that it is a seed. It is a knife because, well, you have to decide where you go. You are defining yourself by your actions, but also you are planting, always planting. And this is really important because if we don't direct our mind and our actions follow our mind, we are planting things we don't want in our future, and then they bloom, and we don't want that kind of blooming. So we have to be very aware of what we're thinking, and of course what our actions, because okay, a thing is what you think, and you can have a mess here, but if you are disciplined to just follow your thoughts that are constructive, and you transform them into actions, that will frame your mind, and you will start this process of shaping your own self. You see, the knife, the stone knife, we call it pedernal in Spanish, or tecpat in Nahuatl. You have to give it shape by hitting it. You see? So it is the same with ourselves. We are polishing what we are in order to be acute of what we want to do. You see, with a knife, you can save life. You can make a surgery. In fact, the knives they use are made of this kind of stone in glass, that it is obsidian. So it is really it is really you see, aligned. Or with the same knife you can kill someone. So this ideogram is our will. Yes. And then we got rain. That is our expression. We are clouds, and we are gathering emotion, and when we are all filled of emotion, and if we don't know how to express it, we can make a really, really destructive storm. But if we know how to channel that emotion, and we know how to express ourselves, we can be constructive and shift everything. Because you see, maybe you have anger or sadness or any destructive emotion, but if you channel it, because feeling that is not bad, it is normal, we all do it, we all feel that way sometimes. So if you know how to channel, you can build something new. You can place it in a work of art, and the feeling after you finish that work of art will be totally different, because you have created something new that makes you feel better and honored with what you have done. So you see, it's a way of change all our way of seeing ourselves. So this is very important to have it at school. Art is the main pillar of this system. And we get to the last symbol, that it is flower, that it is the blooming. It is what you give to life, what you give to yourself, what you give to others. All the work you've been performing by being disciplined and grow and grow and grow, they always bloom. So what you give to others is what you give to yourself, because then comes the crocodile again to react to what you give. So if you give something disrespectful, or I don't know, rude, you've been rude, the other will react in the same way. So you see, all this process is how you treat your own self, by how you behave with your environment. And you see, our blooming is the most important thing, because all our actions are our blooming. So that is the Tezcatlipoca system. I knew I was so fast in it, but maybe we have some time to have some questions if you have them. So the next system is it's the Quetzalcoatl system is a stand system, attitude system. It is formed by 13 concepts that are represented by flying animals. And this analogy is really important because you see, we only can move by walking in two-dimensional space. But birds can move in a three-dimensional way. So this is an analogy of how we can be freer and we can move wherever you want and we can fly as high as we can. I won't go deeper into this because I don't know how much time we have left, but I will show you the 13 flying animals. That the first one, it is here. It is I am all in the head of the skull. Then we have here the two in the knife. It is the good keeper. We call it pájaro carpintero. Tuk, 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 tuk. That it is I am what I the tone what I generate in others. Then we have the we call it the 1,000 voices bird, that it is our sensontle. Sorry about that. I think it's the same name, sensontle. Oh, and then we have the road runner, that it is here. It is if the rabbit digs the tunnels that connect our thoughts, the road runner is our inner dialogue that it is moving through it. So it is continuity. And then comes the Macao, that are to complete something, to make something, to be satisfied with what you want. Then comes the hummingbird, the huitzilin or colibri, that it is our will to not to plan it, just go, and to be harmonic, to move in a very stable way and flowing. Then comes the color, that it is the all that show us our darkness and our light. And to do that, it is to be in harmony, to know you and accept you and work with that. Because if we are canceling ourselves, we are just being rude with us because I don't want to be like that and I am the worst person in the world, blah, blah, blah. You cannot work with it because you are denying who you are. You must accept it and love you as you are. And by that, you have this platform to move freely and get better, improve. Then comes the ego, that it is the motion to be planning and also have direction. Then come flamingo, that it is quecholin in Nahuatl, that it can move to in one direction, but the neck can go in many directions. So it is a way of working with our attention and be precise and always strong by not just focusing in one spot. You have to direct your attention to many things, having like the ego, the plan, the direction in mind, so you can perform different tasks in order to be more precise. And then comes this little bird that you see. This character is Tlaloc, it is the feminine part, so it get advantage of the contrary energy. So like the wind, if you're a bird, you open your wings, and the more wind there are against you, you can go higher and higher and higher. This one is a hawk, and it is the only one that it is outside its place, and it is not to be in the where the energy comes. You see, if someone comes and will hit you, you don't have to be there in order to not receive that energy. But instead of that, you take the place and the direction where that energy comes from. In that sense, you're here, the heat comes, and you can take it and direct yourself and know how, why is that energy coming to you to harm you. So understanding it's a very important process in order to be in harmony with the other. Then comes the Quetzal, that it is being yourself and speak up who you are, your own self, your story, your all what you learn and what you are, without any hesitation and any guilt of being, or yes, of feeling, I don't know, pretentious of what you are. It's just being yourself honestly, and stand for and tell your own story, because we all are valuable. We have a lot of value in what we live. So, and the last flying animal is bat, that lives in families, and it doesn't need to see to know where he is. So this is a total trust in who you are. And if we are talking that you are vibration, you are everyone. And so the trust, it is alignment of knowing that you are all. And trust is the most important value in this concept. So our word, our actions are how we define our trust and who we are. By that, that is the Quetzalcoatl system that are working together, because they build a complete system of, if you multiply 20 by 13, you get 260. That it is more or less our gestation cycle. So when you born in one specific moment, 260 days after, more or less, you born. It is the most accurate, well, it was the most accurate way to know where you'll born. And when you born, you got the name of the day to order all these elements in a specific way to channel your being to get the best of you. So that is the fourth system. The third one, I already talked about it. I didn't notice that, but it is how we use the body mechanics. And these four concepts are here. The fourth system, it is a specific configuration of all these ideograms in order to have the best performance in life, to know your body, your mind, how you channel that to have the best attitude, and have your how you perform in your actions. So I think this work holds how Toltec knowledge its structure. This I just want to finish with, this is a mirror. and you are the skull that it is in the middle. You are finding your own truth, your own nature, and by that you can know how to behave and perform in a more harmonic way to master the best way of being you. And this is how these two snakes are in the top. This is our rational part, and then our intuition, and they form just one snake looking forward, even if both are in different directions. So yes, by that, I want to thank you by your attention. I wish that this talk was nutritious. And yes, when we have all these elements known, we can start reading these kind of books. The goal of this is to start knowing what is written here. You see, there is a lot. There is a lot of information. They have told us that we have lost everything, but it is not true. We have the whole system here written. It is just waiting for us to focus ourselves and start studying it. So yes, that is what I had to say today.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Milan. Thank you so much. Maybe you could stop the screen share.
Yes.
There we go. Well, everyone, that's a very brief exposition of the Toltec cosmology and really epistemology. You know, it's how we know what we know. Oh, we lost Miktlan. She turned off your video. There you go. There you go. Well, what I suggest, Miktlan, is that we go directly into our after chat so you can just have a conversation with the people who will gather there, because I think it's in the interaction that your wisdom really comes to the fore. So we'll bring this session to a close, but it's been really an extraordinary experience just going over for those of us who were in Teotihuacan to hear it again. And we hope that we can have you back down the trail for a deeper illumination. But as everyone can see, you know, the Mayan and Toltec cosmologies are very intricate and extraordinarily complex in their understanding of the human psyche and the relationship between the human psyche and the larger natural ecosystem. And the entire initiatory process was based on that synchronicity between humanity and nature, understanding nature in the widest and deepest sense, enveloping the whole cosmos. And that's what Miktlan has been dedicating his life to bringing to our collective attention. So thank you, Miktlan. This has been very, very nourishing indeed. So thank you, everyone. That'll bring us to a close for today. You're all welcome to the after chat. You'll see the link in the chat box. Miktlan, you received it in your Zoom invite, and others in their Zoom reminders for today. And then enjoy your weekend, everyone. And then on Monday, we'll be back with Humanity Rising. And then I'll be offering for everyone on Monday my own summary of our weekend Teotihuacan, encompassing world events and the Kogi prophecy in some of the reflections that I was providing in Teo, but also subsequently for our collective reflection. Thank you, my friend. Very good to have you. You are an extraordinary artist. And among other things, you're just an extraordinary artist.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm so happy I'm so grateful with all your yes, opening this space is awesome. And thank you so much to all your team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miktlan. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday. See you in the after chat. Bye for now.